Welcome to VSNA 44th Samanvaya Convention, organized by VSNA All Chapters. All chapters are VSNA. VSNA All Chapters formally recognizes the contributions of 44th Samanvaya Convention Leaders, organizing committee leaders, youth volunteers, chapter presidents, and all the participants making it a huge success. With their dedicated work, collaboration, and coordination, 7 sessions dedicated to Satyakkana Sanje, Akkammana Munjane, Lakkammana Naduhagalu, Lingammana Sanje, Goggavveya Munjane, Sankavvana Naduhagalu, and Rayammana Sanje were brought to reality. Thank you to the convention leadership for their overall leadership provided. To Mr. Harish Hiremat as convention chair, Ms. Nagratna Tortada as convention co-chair, Ms. Bhavani Mudabagil as convention treasurer, Mr. Kiran Babaladi as convention secretary. Our sincere thanks to convention committees for their dedication and hard work in making it happen. Thank you to Mr. Harish Hiremat as part of the program committee.
रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय रामेश्वराय शिव रामेश्वराय हर हर भोले.
Thank you to Ms. Nagratna Tortada as part of the entertainment committee. Thank you to Ms. Nayantara Swami, Ms. Vidya Takalaki, and Ms. Anu Gubbi as part of the competitions committee. Thank you to Mr. Sajan Shiva as part of the Anubhava Goshti committee. Thank you to Dr. Suresh Shroff and Dr. Chaitanya Mallikarjuna as part of the medical health forum. Thank you to Mr. J. Jaidev and Mr. Mahesh Patil as part of the Business Forum. Thank you to Mr. Shrikant Hanumantappa and Mr. Mahantesh Nashi as part of the Samilana for Parents Committee. Thank you to Ms. Bhavani Mudabagil as part of the Finance/Women's Forum Committee. Thank you to Mr. Yash Gaddi as part of the Yoga and Shiva Puja Committee. Thank you to Mr. Sajan Shiva and Mr. Yash Gaddi as part of the Souvenir Committee. Thank you to Mr. Kiran Babaladi as part of the Communications and Promotions Committee. And thank you to Mr. Sudhir Naikar as part of the Technology Committee. We sincerely thank our convention youth volunteers who continuously supported us to make it happen. Isha Jaidev, who worked on flyers, website updating, and video creation, Sanjana Gowda, who worked on video editing, Trishul Naginali, who worked on website editing, Bruhadishwari Muchandi, who worked on flyers, and Ishwar Bhupalam, who worked on convention banner and logo. All these convention organizers would not have made it a success without the active and wholehearted support of our chapter presidents. On behalf of the organizing committees and VSNA All Chapters, we sincerely thank our chapter presidents for the support rendered in coordinating all convention-related activities. Over the years, VSNA has grown into a mammoth organization. Can you tell how many chapters we have currently? Don't know? VSNA currently has 26 chapters. Do you know the new chapters added to VSNA in 2021? Do you know where all the other chapters are? Do you know who the current 2021 chapter presidents are? Let me take you on a whirlwind tour around North America showing you the location of our chapters along with their current presidents. Join me. Starting off, we're very excited to announce 2 new chapters, the first in San Antonio, Texas with Dr. Chaitanya Mallikarjuna as president. The second one is in Alberta, Canada with Mrs. Sumangala Desai Gowder as president. Next, we have a chapter in Alabama with Mr. T.S. Shivashankar as president. We have a chapter in DC and Virginia with Ms. Rupa Gudimath as president. Next, we have a chapter all the way in Detroit with Mr. Santosh Telly as president. Then we have a chapter in Dallas, Texas with Mr. Mahantesh Nashi as president. Then going to Florida, we have a chapter there with Miss Vidya Takalaki as president. Then back to Texas and Houston, we have a chapter with Mr. C.K. Swaroop as president. Then in North Carolina, we have a chapter with Mr. Tumbesh Halnur as president. Next, in Pennsylvania East, we have a chapter with Mr. Sid Tumkur as president. Then also in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, we have a chapter with Mr. Shrikant Hanumantappa as president. Then we have a chapter in Kansas City with Mr. Satish Kavi as president. We have a chapter in New England with Mr. Rudresh Kotani as president. And more specifically, in New York and New Jersey, we have a chapter with Mr. Onkara Murundi as president. Then all the way in California North, we have a chapter with Mr. Shivu Vibhuti as president. Then in California Central, we have a chapter with Mr. Shankar Yediyur as president. Then in California South, we have a chapter with Miss Uma Hukeri as president. Then in Ohio, we have a chapter with Mr. Sudhir Naikar as president. We have a chapter in West Virginia with Dr. Vivek Naginahal as president. Then all the way in Toronto, we have a chapter with Mr. Kiran Shivapagaudar as president. In Connecticut, we have a chapter with Mr. Nagaraj Shivakumar as president. In Maryland, we have a chapter with Mr. Nijaguna Prasad as president. Then in Chicago, we have a chapter with Mr. Akash Angadi as president. Then in Georgia, we have a chapter with Mr. J. Jayadev as president. We have a chapter in Tennessee with Mr. K.P. Channabasappa as president. Finally, we have our VSNA Next Gen chapter.